Hello and welcome to the top of the slag pile. And she only comes when she's on top. But as she's not here and hasn't answered any of my messages, let me introduce you to my disgruntled colleagues. With me tonight I have Eric Cabbage and Will Brown. How are you, gents?
Still not going to get used to this. But it's alright, the gin helps.
Oh, you're on gin tonight?
Whoa.
My favourite gin, 50% gin. Delightful. And I also have what I think is a quad, but maybe stronger, as I'm too lazy to go downstairs to get another. So this is me for the evening, and I can flop onto the bed.
Wonderful.
Excellent.
I mean, that is the cleanest hangover.
Without a doubt, yeah. So much less dirty than port, I imagine.
I don't know. Mead does me in quite well.
Oh, that's all the sugar in it.
Yeah.
It's not good for me. I'm trying to think what's the worst one. I think beer is still the worst.
It is still the worst.
Red wine.
Afterwards.
Red wine for me. It's just it's the taste.
Oh no, I'm fine with red wine. It's lager.
Really? No, I don't mind a lager hangover. I can expect it.
Oh no.
I can see what it's got in for
Too
me.
gassy.
Okay.
Far too
What do
gassy.
you mean you can see what you can think?
I know how
forward to the morning you're going to spend on the toilet.
I know how lager thinks now. I've drunk it.
Walk us through how lager thinks.
How lager thinks.
From the perspective of lager, please.
All right, cool. So lager. First of all, you go into the bar and you get a pint of lager, and you greet each other like old mates, like old firm friends. All right, chat. Yeah, I did. Absolutely, yeah. And it's just fantastic. And then the second one,
And then you wrap your mandibles around that.
your mandibles around that one. Yeah. And then,
as you do to your lager.
second pint, you're just carrying on the conversation. Maybe you're reminiscing by this point. Maybe you're reminiscing about all the good times. And by the third point, you kind of remember. One of you remembers, and it's normally me because lager isn't sentient. That at some point it's done me wrong, and maybe I start an argument with it, and maybe I drift away from lager. But no, before I know it, someone else has bought me a lager because they've seen what I'm drinking. They don't want to ask. We're 3 pints in. Fuck off. So. I get another one, and that's when the relationship starts to go downhill normally. But I know it, and I know it well. I know how fast I should quaff. I know that maybe I should sneak off and intersperse it with some nice clean stuff, and I mean gin, not water. So as the lager carries on throughout the night, and you've kind of committed now. Your relationship is rocky. You begin to feel yourself thinking, you know what? I missed lager, but maybe I don't like hanging out with lager too much. Maybe lager's, not the guy. Maybe he's a fair weather friend. And you just after a while, you realise what he's got in for you. You know what's about to happen. You hit your 6th one, you hit your 7th one, and you think, right, there's no way out of this now. I've done it. I've done what is about to happen has happened. I've seen this. What a shyster. What a piss artist. I've seen him do this 1,000 times before. And I'm educated. I know what's coming. So I go home. I drink a ton of water. I try and have a poo beforehand. Not that matters. And then I wake up the next day and my head hurts a bit, but not as bad because I saw what was coming. I drank the water. I had the poo.
Are we just cheap therapists at this point, Eric? So that's what this is.
I'll tell you what. That didn't feel like therapy, Will.
That's what therapy feels like. It doesn't feel like therapy. You walk in, you didn't realise you had any problems, and then you walk out and you realise that your whole world's been flipped upside down, and you realise you're a damaged individual.
You go and you start venting about lager, and then realise you do have a problem.
I know. And then halfway through, you remember that it wasn't lager, it was your dad. And you go...
Should I have been realising I have a problem throughout that whole thing?
Well, if you didn't then, you do now.
Well, I think if you're addressing lager as an equal, then I think potentially yes.
My friend lager.
As your Cockney friend lager.
Actually, you know what? I want that animated now as like a kid's picture book. My friend
My
lager.
friend lager.
Yeah.
My daddy's friend lager.
My daddy's friend lager. Yeah, I smell a New York Times bestseller right there.
I tell you what, I experienced a new type of hangover recently, which I thought I was finished with new hangovers. I recently spent a night in Belfast, and I was on the Guinness, which I've never done for such a sustained period. It's always like I just fancy it. I'm a bit hungry. I'll have Guinness before I start, sort of thing. But when in Rome, and the people I was with were just drinking Guinness, just
Yeah.
nothing else, just Guinness. That's the standard. And I'm not sure how many I had, but it goes down easy after a couple. It's not fizzy at all. It just
it's smooth, isn't it?
It's smooth.
It's smooth. It's heavy,
it's
though.
very, very smooth, but it is heavy.
But then you try and stand up after 4 and you realise you're about 10 stone heavy.
Yeah, because you've just been drinking wheat gravy.
I was very heavy the following day. That was that was a struggle. I think I slept through most of the afternoon. I mean, I got up in the morning because I had to pretend to be at work. But I then retreated into a hiding space and fell asleep. I spent my day just wandering around work, looking for somewhere to hide, and then once I found somewhere good enough, I just fell asleep in it.
Was that kind of hangover that you kind of had this overbearing feeling of doom?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because you're at work, you have to be doing something, but the doom is there. The void is just out of your periphery, but it's there, and it goes behind you every time you turn your head.
Very light-hearted, the themes of this podcast this week. Very light-hearted.
Yeah, we went in dry, didn't we?
Yeah, this is the problem. We need to be well wetted to begin, otherwise the depression comes through.
Oh god. Actually,
why did everyone leave me that I love?
We need to go in one lager deep because that appears to be Finn's finest moment.
it's when I'm best at pool as well. I'm shit at pool generally.
Yes.
After like when you're on the second lager, peaking about 3/4 of the way through, I'm incredible at it.
The 1.5 lager power spike.
Yeah, the classic.
It's a real thing.
Yeah.
Isn't that a Mitchell and Webb sketch?
The inebriati.
Is that...
The inebriati.
Yeah, where they're always what is it? I think it's less than a pint. I think it's like just under a pint.
Okay.
Is that golden moment of extra confidence, but
and they just maintain that just under a pint
Yeah.
for the entire of their lives, and then he goes over it once, and his entire world comes crashing down upon him.
I mean, literally, he was Prime Minister. He just started launching nukes. that was the end of the sketch. Is that he finished the pint and got a bit fighty.
That's the power of lager.
This actually segues really nicely into my only talking point that I wrote down for the night. The different hangover classes and their relative alignments. This is because I survived a hangover miraculously. I was out for drinks after work. I went far too hard. I was in an Irish pub at about midnight. I was so many Guinnesses down. I was so drunk actually that after drinking Guinness in a pub all night, a classic case. I went back to my old pal lager, finished it off with a Prava.
Oh,
yeah,
that's a bowl to finish on.
It was
if you've been on Guinness all night.
I will split no hairs when I say I was fucked up. Yeah, I was stumbling around, but
It's just like adding what is it called, soda powder to basically liquid bread.
Yes, that's exactly what I was doing. Yes, and
Alka-Seltzer in a Coke bowl.
It did raise. But anyway, so I got home, panic drank some water, and went to bed. But to try and stave off the hangover, I tried to stay awake for some reason. Like that would make any difference. Like going to sleep less drunk would make me less under the influence when I woke up. But I woke up and I was absolutely fine. Not a dent in the fender, just smooth sailing. I'm mixing my metaphors here quite spectacularly. But yeah, so I decided to write a few of the ideas down, basically based on experience that I've had. It's only a few. The first hangover, I just kind of want to see what your comments are on this and see if you think it's accurate. Like the first hangover, it's going to be the easy one. I call this the catastrophe, and my little spiel, my red flavor text for this one is: all is lost, and time is meaningless. Even oblivion hurts. You bury your head into the pillow and wait for the beast to claim you. You knew this was coming, you signed on the dotted line, and you were smiling while you did it. And I said this was lawful evil, because it's entirely above board.
Yeah, it's absolutely your fault.
But you deserved it,
You did this to yourself, yeah.
Yeah. Is that a relatable one for anyone? Because I think one particular one for me, yeah.
That's and it's usually, that's the one that strikes when you actually had something to do that day as well.
Yes.
You never wake up with that catastrophe hangover and go, well, I can just stay here. I can just go back to sleep. It will be okay. I'll just keep sleeping. I'll just keep sleeping until I feel okay. It's always you wake up, the catastrophe hangover hits, and you go, "Oh God, I've got to stand up now. I've got to stand up, and I've got to stay stood up for quite some time. And at some point, people might talk to me. I might have to operate hands at some point as well. And before I even do any of that, I'm going to have to put socks on.
Oh,
That's... Jesus.
Socks in particular, because if you're standing up and bending over to put socks on, forget about it. And if you're sitting down, there's an unnecessary crunch that you do with your stomach that can really set things off.
It's always the shifting of levels when I have that hangover. My head wants to maintain this singular place in the world, and changing gravity at all just decides that everything in my brain now needs to hit all of the sides and rattle around in there like a ping pong ball. And it is the worst experience.
I think that's...
And I hate that hangover. And I've had that hangover and then had to go play badminton the next day. And then you realise that you can't stand still. The other person's not going to take pity on you. And and the worst part is when they just hit it on the floor and kick it at you and expect you to pick it up, and you just have to bend over. You have to pick that goddamn thing up, and halfway down you realise that it wasn't worth it, and you should have stayed in bed.
I've never had to. The one time I really remember, I don't think I had to do anything the next day, but I did end up letting about 3 people down because I had plans with them the next day at various times. And it was always that last minute one because I thought I can push through. I've got to cancel on this guy, but maybe I can make the 3 o'clock. Maybe I can make the 3 o'clock, and it gets to 2:30, and I'm still head buried in the pillow, head pounding as well. Yeah, so it just ruins friendships. that catastrophe ruins friendships.
I've missed a family get together for that. I was at my girlfriend's for Christmas at the time. So the whole thing was that everyone sort of goes their separate ways for Christmas, do our own thing, but then New Year's Day, my family gets together and we have pie, and that's Pie Day that we do every year. We all have pie, and then in the evening people tend to go off to their respective things because the younger people have parties to go to. But during the day, you have pie.
It's still just a tiny insight once again into your Victorian upbringing, but continue.
Yeah. But the night before this, completely impromptu, just a friend I hadn't seen in a little while happened to be nearby, and one thing leads to another. And then
Wait, I just realised, did you say this you always have Pie Day on New Year's Day?
New Year's Eve day, sorry.
Okay.
So yeah, you have the pie, and then you go off to your party.
New Year's Day is ambitious.
Oh no, I
That is a
don't make
rough
plans
day
for that.
Most of the population.
No, this is the day before. This is New Year's Eve, and I ruined it myself.
There was
You doubled down.
a New Year's Day meal that I once had. I was so rough. It was quite a few years ago now, but all I ate all day was a singular pack because it was all that was left in the fridge, and I don't know how long it had been there, of Aldi seafood sticks. that was it.
Nutritious and easy on the stomach, as always.
Oh yeah, it settled there like an anvil covered in razor blades.
Beautiful.
Oh, speaking of shameful hangover food, I have a story actually.
Go on.
So once upon a time in South Shields, I was in a student sort of house.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, I was in a student. All right, yeah.
No.
Dirty bugger.
Right, there's. Me and my flatmate were out the night before separately. I got back first. I wasn't too bad, but it was beer, so the next day I wasn't great. He got back at like 3. Now, what happened to him was that he probably went out into Newcastle, did the full night out. On his walk home from the metro station, he went to a fantastic takeaway called Mario's, where you get a mixed wrap that is, it was like for a £5, and it was just the perfect size. You eat all of that, and you're done. You can absolutely manage it every time, but you're done after that.
It's like it fills your health bar to the top, and that's all you need. Yeah.
Every time, perfectly health bar to the top.
Yeah.
It's no overshooting, no undershooting. It's always just bang on.
Yeah.
And it's delicious. Now, he staggered back. This was in the middle of winter. He fell over outside the corner shop, just down the street from us, and slipped on the ice, dropped it, picked it back up, got home, fell over on the stairs, dropped it, scurried into bed. I wake up the next day and I find a kebab on the stairs.
Oh, sir. Oh.
To this day, he doesn't know. I ate the kebab. I ate the kebab. I scarfed it down. It was
Cold stairwell kebab. You, sir, are a gremlin.
the hunger
Disgraceful gremlin.
The hunger took over. There was no thought. There was no decision to be made. There was a kebab on the stairs, and I had it. Later that day, when my friend surfaced, he was telling me about the night, how he really hurt his back because he fell over outside the corner shop on the ice, and he doesn't know where his kebab's gone. I guess he must have dropped it when he fell over.
Oh.
I was like, oh yeah, I guess you must have dropped it. And then later that day, he walked past just to see if he could see it. I don't know.
That is...
He still doesn't know.
The betrayal.
And I'm still good friends with him. I talk to him regularly.
Not after this. If you
I know,
think
what are you going to do? Then, and to be honest, the kebab thing does, again, segue back into my next hangover category, because it's the only one I mentioned kebabs in. Well done.
You two are on point, aren't you?
Apparently. This one is called The Rogue. You feel fine, but something is watching you. From within the dark pit of the oven, peering out of the ambient folds of last night's kebab, a shadow jumping from tree to tree, watching you stumble to the nearest shop for a zesty restorative. And as you're going about your day, it strikes out of nowhere, and it could be a sharp headache, roiling nausea, the blindsiding shits, and just as quickly it's gone. And I thought that was a chaotic neutral one, and that one once hit me at a bus station, and it was the worst time of my life.
Now, this is what I assumed you were saying you were going through when you woke up and felt fine, because I would not trust that feeling of fine. I would assume it's this.
I assume that's
the
chaotic
rogue.
good.
Yeah, I would assume I'm still a little bit drunk, and it's still gonna happen.
Okay.
I've many a times woken up and thought, still a little bit tipsy.
Yep.
It's now gonna hit me in the day.
So I kind of
weirdly, when I wake up tipsy, I don't feel like it's going to hit me in the middle of the day. Normally, if I've still got the slightest bit of buzz, it means that I'm going to generally
you're gonna ride it out.
I'll have inhaled something. Yeah, I'll have ridden it out, and I'll have had some water throughout the day, so everything kind of just.
I suppose you can preempt it a little bit if you wake up a little bit tipsy and get on it with the water and the Baroccas and all the cures that we mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
If you wake up and you just have a good coffee and a big old sandwich. I mean, like, whilst still a bit drunk, you've just kind of covered all your bases.
Well, if you have a coffee, you can encourage the blindsiding shits, so it just turns into the shits.
Yeah, I'd be skeptical about a big coffee on that point. The big sandwich,
no,
absolutely.
You
some bread in you.
You just make sure you get a laptop. You make sure you've got your coffee. You get a newspaper, maybe, perhaps, if that's your poison. And then you just go to the bathroom and
just
then
wait.
You get your camp set up with your coffee and then possibly a sandwich and a light entertainment, and that's you for the morning and a half. Perfect. Create your fortress of solitude and accept your fate. That's my lawful good.
I want to know, when I've had nothing to do and not lived with a girlfriend, I have done that. Just
camped out for the
camped out in the toilets. You know, it's just gonna happen.
Oh,
I may as well just make it nice in here.
Get yourself a candle. Put up some fairy lights.
I have done that before.
Give yourself some.
Put fairy lights.
No, the candle thing. The candle thing. Just get a nice scented candle out and stick it in the bathroom, because you're gonna be there probably more often than not today. And it's just nice for the atmosphere, isn't it? It's
very nice. You get yourself a bowl of potpourri as well.
Not as well as a candle. Why would?
I mean, you could spruce it up, get yourself some flowers or something. I mean, really put out a spread.
I might as well get fairy lights then. So maybe some festoons.
Yeah.
Get some festoon lighting.
Oh, very nice.
You can turn it into a festival of oon.
That's all I want my bathroom to be like. Get myself a bunk bed just above it, and I'll be sorted.
A bunk bed with a hatch.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm glad you knew what I meant.
Yeah. You can wear one of those big one-piece pyjama suits with a hatch as well.
Oh,
just like a masseuse table, basically, with long legs and multiple holes cut in.
I would love a masseuse table just to sleep face in to something and still be able to breathe.
Oh, yes.
That would be so great.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm fairly sure I look so terrible.
You really look like you're dead.
I'm fairly sure I look so terrible because I have slept on my face before, and
I
that
really like to be face down.
it adds
it's-
years. It adds years, man.
The face down. That was the problem. You've thought back upon all of your incredible life decisions, your lawful evil hangovers, and you've chosen.
Yeah.
Falling asleep face down is clearly the biggest issue amongst all of
That's
them.
right. Yeah, it wasn't the endless social smoking. It wasn't the apparently a very unhealthy relationship with lager. No, it was lying face down occasionally.
It can all be solved with a masseuse table and some weekly yoga, I'm sure.
Probably.
That's
Okay, so the next one, and this I think this is kind of more like what you were describing last time, Eric. I call this one the status effect. So you wake up, and while feeling fine, you already know that your hit points are slowly decreasing over time. You can try and stop it, but you're out of that weird moss that clears poison, and all you can do is attempt to stave it off with sustenance. And as the day increases, like the poison damage starts to turn to toxic, and you can't stop it. And then you have to return to the bonfire, and you've lost all your souls. don't sue me. And I said that was
You've
neutral
played
evil.
too much Elden Ring, haven't you?
Too much of all that shit. They really are my jam. But yes, that one I know very well because you do know, like you feel fine, you know it's coming, and
Something's wrong.
yeah, something.
You've got off too lightly here.
Yeah,
This isn't right.
You know what weirdly ties in really well into that is that I had a stasis effect hangover just the other week, where I basically got way too drunk. I didn't realise this, but the last memory I have is booking an Uber from my friend's house, and it turns out there are 2 streets with the same name in Newcastle. So going outside to meet my taxi and then finding out that the taxi is halfway across the other side of Newcastle and going, oh, then going back inside. And that's the last thing I remember. And after that, I woke up on the mattress in the middle of his living room, didn't realise that I'd woken up in his house, was very surprised, not feeling great, but was just stunned by the hangover and just kept there permanently for an extended period of time. And it was just dreadful. I just accepted my fate. I needed the toilet. I accepted that I was going to stay there, though, because I couldn't move. I just got hard CC'd and couldn't do anything about it. And then, after I woke up, because my friend came downstairs and chatted to me, they all went upstairs and played D&D, and I hibernated in his front room and played Elden Ring for the entire day.
yes.
that was my stasis effect Dark Souls hangover, which perfectly summarised there.
I don't think I could handle a game like Elden Ring hungover. I think.
Oh, I could.
It's
It
so
is,
good.
yeah. I mean, we should.
That's what the whole new computer is for. The whole new computer is for playing that game. And I'm so excited.
Can I steer us away from Elden Ring and
Sorry,
introduce
I've
a
been
segment?
distracted.
Oh, can I finish off my segment?
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, man.
I didn't realise you had more.
I do.
Yes, keep going.
There's just 2 more. There's 2 more, and they're little paragraphs. And we've all been there. So this is the soul trap, which again it kind of overlaps with what Will was saying just then. And it's your eyes flick open. It's earlier than you expect, and the light seeping through the cracks in the curtains. It doesn't burn your bleary retinas as you'd expect them to. So you do a systems check, and everything seems fine. Nothing hurts. You're a little thirsty though, and your mouth kind of tastes like an unwashed pint glass from the night before. So you turn over to get up, feeling fine, but as you do so, your cursed, wretched soul follows, roused by the movement, and it kind of grasps you by your head and your stomach and wrenches you back. And now you can't leave. And that's true neutral. That's just, yeah.
That sounds exactly like what Will just had.
Yeah.
Oh, baby's that was the
That was the soul
That
trap.
was the soul trap. And then finally, it's the I put 10 in luck. And its evening was wild, filled with booze, laughter, good times. Some friendships were strengthened, others were forged. You planned to go home initially, but answered the call to adventure. You know adventure comes with risks, but there's a trick up your sleeve. You know, you might not be able to lift the heaviest pint or charm the surliest doorman or jump the longest queues, but you woke up, rolled a natural 20. The sun is shining, you fancy another beer. You enter the bar, see all your friends, they're worse for wear. You look down and you pick up a £20 note, and that's just chaotic good. Like, you just put them all in luck, and somehow you finessed it. It's fine. I've done that once.
I think once or twice, and it's usually on the nights where I've been most without. Now I mean this literally. So do not be putting any dirty connotations on this, but the most physically active.
Oh my.
You see why I did the caveat now?
Sorry, George Takei just seeps out of me.
He seeps out.
Like a little fart.
Yeah. Oh my. Don't say gay, say Takei. Neither of you two see
Oh
that.
no, we've seen that now. Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Oh,
You sent us that once you were port-brained.
That was,
Oh,
yeah.
oh no.
But yes, those nights where you end up, for some reason, running for quite a long time.
Yeah.
And these things happen, but you just sweat it all out before you even go to bed.
Yeah.
And you wake up totally fine. Or nights where you just become one with music and just have a fantastic time dancing.
Yeah.
And again, you just sweat it
You're
all
sweating
out.
it. Yeah.
Just sweat all the alcohol out and you wake up totally fine. Those are the best. But I so very rarely experience that. I'm more likely ending up having to run quite far than I am to dance.
Oh, me too. Absolutely.
Yeah.
What are you running from?
Dancing.
Whatever's behind me. I don't know.
Paint your own pictures, dude.
Yeah.
Paint
Running
own
away from a
pictures.
solid gold dancer.
Yeah, he's one of those statue men. He's stolen his hat and he's running away from it. He's going, "You'll never catch me. You're made of metal." As he runs away into the night. Golden hat in hand, disappointed at his lack of value when he realised it's made of felt.
But that's it from me. That's it. That's my fairly lengthy talking point over. But I feel like I had to make it up after the shit effort with the Japanese killing stone or whatever it was.
I mean, that was a great one, and we very naturally just sort of led you into it as well.
Yeah. It was quite a nice one actually. It's shocking how much we'll talk about being drunk and the aftermath.
Yeah.
Turns out when three alcoholics get together, they talk about beer.
Yeah. Turns out when it comes to the problems with alcohol, we've got a lot to say.
But I don't need fixing.
I don't. I got my beer, and that's all I need.
That's true. When with the Guinness hangover, it was a horrible day, but I didn't regret it one bit. I had a lovely time. That whole day spent sort of shuffling around, trying to find a warm corner to hide and sleep.
Yeah,
I was still fine with it. It was like, no, but last night was fun. It's worth it. It was a stupid amount of Guinness, but it was fun.
that's nice. It's when you wake up and maybe it wasn't the best. It was just a night, but you're out for far too long and you spent far too much, and you just kind of went, well, that was an experience. It happened. I kind of wish it hadn't.
Oh no, that does happen. But you're only in Belfast once,
Unless you go again.
unless you go again.
Well, they kick you out after the first time.
Yeah.
Everyone's got one pass. You get one freebie to
Bell
Belfast.
pass.
The Bell Pass.
Thank
Well done, sir. We've peaked. Leave. That was the slag pile this week.
Right, you need a.
Thank you for
You need someone,
listening.
you
Short
need
and
someone else
sweet.
to introduce
Fuck
it now. That's me done. I'm done presenting the slag pile. Soft presenting the slag pile.
Yeah. That's what happens. The slag pile. When you reach the top of the slag pile, you've got to leave.
Yeah,
You've peaked.
you
too
must tumble
soon.
to the bottom.
You've created
Yeah,
exactly.
or be buried beneath a new load.
Oh my.
Oh no. Everyone's got a dick.
This is a good podcast. This one. Yeah.
All the roads that lead to Edinburgh are covered in dead badgers.
I'm done with your games, sir.
Sorry. So what was your segment, Eric? What were you going to say? What was your thing?
So I have a segment prepared, which I prepared this some time ago. It's been at the bottom of the pile of segments, so it's
Shit.
It's obviously not. It's obviously shit. Yeah. But I've had this in the bank since the first one,
Okay.
and it's an ethics quiz,
What the? Right.
and it has correct answers.
Is that ethical?
None of this ethics bullshit where there's no right answer. There are right answers, and you will be marked.
Can I have a lawyer? Can I have some sort of representative that can tell me what the thing is that I can say without getting
no.
I think you'll be fine.
destroyed?
I'm reaching for my comfort soap.
You have comfort soap. Oh, I think I've got some
Hold
of
the
that.
segment. Comfort soap.
Comfort soap. Is this when we've all got soap within arm's reach? For some weird reason.
Please tell me more about comfort soap.
Right.
Why is it called comfort soap?
Okay. This is the first time I've called it comfort soap. Normally it is called soap.
But it's what you call it in here, isn't it? It's what you call it in here.
In my brain tank, yeah, absolutely. So, comfort soap, basically. I got this wonderful. Let's do a shout out. The Coastal Soap Company, Seabreeze flavour, handmade in Carmarthenshire. Big up Seatown. Yeah, so basically, I got this for Christmas, and I rarely use soap. Like I smell all the time. No, I always use shower gel and stuff like that. So I never actually need a bar of soap. I very rarely use bars of soap. So it's just sat on my desk for ages, and I kind of got to the thing where it would always be somewhere near me for some reason because I just have to put it there. And then I find that meetings at work, I would kind of just slowly be sniffing away at it, just lifting it up to my face and sniffing away and then putting it back down, not even realizing I'm doing it until a colleague had the brass cojones to actually come up to me and say, "What the fuck are you doing with this soap?
What are you sniffing?
Why are you sniffing soap all the time?" I was like, "It's because it's there." So yeah, this is the comfort soap, which I've been sniffing comfort soap since Christmas.
Yeah,
since Christmas. Yeah.
So you can never really use that soap now. This is just comfort soap.
It'd be like losing a friend. It'd be like losing It'd be like losing the second pint of lager all over again.
I'm very disappointed I can't find mine.
Your
I have a bar of shampoo somewhere in this room that has hidden itself from me. I have some Lenore, some old Lenore that I can use. But that's about it, really.
Do you think this is an activity?
It's gone.
He's gone. He's gone.
He's gone.
He's so rogue today. He's very well lit though.
He is well lit.
Oh, I've got this singular thing. But yeah, this is old foamy Comfort Intense, and that'll do me for this evening if we're going for comfort.
What you got? What you got, Eric? Where's your comfort smell?
Oh. What's your comfort smell of the week?
We should do a comfort smell of the week.
Slide pile comfort smell of the week.
I do actually have a bag of toiletries to hand.
Perfect.
I haven't.
I want you to bring your favourite smell. That's what I want.
Behold, my bag of comfort smells.
That's an overwhelming bag of comfort smells.
I haven't really unpacked from work yet.
I see.
So I've got quite a selection. I think the one I'd like to smell most is probably just the toothpaste.
That's a weird choice.
Of all these smells, I think the toothpaste is the one I enjoy most.
I think that Carex looks just zesty and refreshing, or creamy and coconutty and buttery and lovely.
Stick it right in there.
Go.
Wrap your nostrils round that. Oh yeah.
It's it is creamy.
Mm.
It looks
creamy. It looks creamy.
It's a moisturising one.
Oh my god.
You know, a man with a well lubricated nostril.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you have to. It's very salty where I work, so you've got to have all the moisturising products.
Yeah.
Seamen known for their saltiness.
I've also got a nice little tub of E45.
I see your E45,
Polymer.
and I raise you a large old tub of sudocrem.
Ooh.
Oh, that's comfort in a
isn't it
jar.
just? Yeah. For when the nappy gets too rashy.
I could almost rate you it's not within reach. An out-of-date big tub of sudocrem.
I think this is massively out of date too.
Has anyone got an in-date tub of sudocrem? Just quick question: has anyone ever owned one?
I don't think I've ever bought one. I've just got it. I don't know.
Everyone's got one tub of sudocrem, and it's always out of date by about 5 years.
Can everyone give me give me a date? Give me a date and a year. A month and a year. Sorry.
8 August 2017.
Okay, what are you going for?
I think before that, I'm going to say 2015 January.
Okay, so this expired it was actually this month. It was April 2021. This expired. But I also know that we've had this since probably about 2018, I think, maybe 2017 at least. Oh, guys.
The one tub.
Guys, I wish I could. I think I'm okay with words, but my goodness, I don't know how to even describe what I'm sniffing now to you. I'm sniffing a tub of sudocrem. For our listeners at home,
I don't know how to describe it, but I can describe it quite concisely.
How many words does it take? Yes, I'm sniffing an out-of-date tub of sudocrem. 7
it's
words.
matured like a fine cheese.
Oh, no. Of course. It just smells of that comforting smell when you'd cut your knees open when you were little, and then you just get a little bit rubbed
You're
on.
putting pseudo-creme on an open wound.
You're not supposed to.
Yeah?
That's
Oh.
Savlon, mate.
That's yeah.
We rubbed it into everything.
Joint of beef, fucking sudocrem it up.
Pseudo-creme that. Ooh. Get a nice shoe going.
What do you mean? Sudocrem
A
the
sew.
beef and you get yourself a cow the next day? Heals everything that sudocrem does.
If you spatchcock in a chicken, gotta get the pseudocreme in there. You rub it into the skin.
Yes, pseudocock in a chicken.
Sudocreme de cassis. That's how I get my cocktails.
Pseudocreme de banane.
Delicious. Yeah.
That has happened before.
That's when the evening activities were a bit too adventurous.
It's carpet burns, man. Because lager isn't sentient.
Is she safe?
William, I don't know what's in the garden.
Well, there was rhubarb in the garden, so we ate that.
Yeah.
What was your segment, Aaron?
All right. When is it acceptable to not flush?
when you've just pre-discussed it with the person going after you, and you're trying to save toilet water, and if it's only a wee.
Okay, that was quick. That's off the bat.
That was quick. It was off the bat, and it was in depth because I was going to say,
Yeah, you thought about that.
It's okay to not flush if it's a wee that is of healthy strength, not one of those ammonia-ridden things that ends up smelling like the back end of a cow.
I'll give you that. I've got if it was just a wee and you're very hydrated that day, so I'll give you that.
I think I nailed that one. I think I've got incredible
You can-
ethics.
When you're quite hydrated, you barely know.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. It's, actually, off this one, sorry. I just remembered that I had a friend once who, luckily I never went over in this condition, but their toilet stopped working, and they didn't actually know about the mechanism whereby you can just pour water down it to flush it. So he was just living in a state of for 2 days of like this, what I can only describe as a poo lasagna.
Oh, sir.
Oh God. I'm so glad I know about that, because the number of times I've been in places where you would have ended up with a poo lasagna if you didn't know. Although speaking of faulty toilets, here's another Once Upon a Time in South Shields. In a different student flat. Will, you've been to this one. It's the crazy flat with the gnome.
Yes, with the shrine
With
to
the shrine,
4.5 foot gnome
with the
statue
shrine to
that
Giuseppe.
just left there.
And he's only 4.5 foot tall when he's got his hat on.
Mm-hmm.
But he can't take it off.
Yeah, he can't take it off.
Because he's a garden.
Because he's a garden gnome, he's a porcelain gnome. When we viewed the flat, the toilet was out of action, and obviously we asked the letting agent, that'll be fixed when we move in, right? I'm like, yeah, of course it will. No. Because they're a letting agent and they lied, obviously.
As is their want.
As is their want.
I'd trust them less if they were honest.
Yeah, if they said, nah, probably not going to bother, I'll go, fair enough, we'll deal with it when we get here. At least now we know going into it. But we turn up, it doesn't work, obviously. We spend the first week shitting in the pub. In the pub toilets. We'll clarify that.
Bursting in, taking a dump on the table, leaving. See you next time, landlord.
Did you?
We drank heavily that week, because you can't go into a pub for a shit and not have a drink.
Yeah.
Fair.
Ooh.
But yes.
Did you have any of your own amenities to begin with in this flat? You were stealing Wi-Fi from the chip shop downstairs.
Oh, yeah,
you were using the
the chip shop downstairs and the
opposite.
flat above it weren't really like separate. They weren't separate. There was a door between them with a latch on the chip shop side, so the guys at the chip shop could just come into our flat whenever they wanted, but we couldn't get into the chip shop.
That's not fair. That's
That's how that works.
That's not ethical.
Yeah, it's all right though because they gave them their Wi-Fi,
Well,
so like
only-
that's perfectly reasonable.
Only because I tried to set up a broadband connection, and the broadband I'd asked for immediately then contacted them like someone's trying to connect a second broadband to your address, and they were like, "Whoa, don't do that. Just use our Wi-Fi." So it was all a little bit dodgy, but it was an alright chip shop, and they were friendly. So
Yeah.
And we're pretty sure they didn't just let themselves into our flat whenever they wanted.
Yeah.
They should have just put Giuseppe just
in front of the
outside
door.
Just in front of the door as like a permanent guard.
That would.
With a sign that says "Praise Satan."
I think that would stop someone. Just, especially, I mean, yeah. If you just come out of the chip shop, you're just thinking, "Let's have a look in the flat, see what's going on." Maybe they're, fuck no.
If you like
Yeah,
attach it to one
exactly.
of those little buttons that says "That was easy," and they just go
Yeah.
out there and you see this gnome.
It's like, no, fuck it. They're gnome people. Don't go in.
"Come into my abode" is the first thing that they hear. You've got it like a tiny little laser sensor so that it clips just as the door opens at crack.
We could do that. It was a house full of electrical engineers. We could have rigged something up, but we just trusted the guy. He was all right. But no. So after a week, someone came to fit a new toilet, but they didn't take the old one away. They just left it next to the old one, the new one. Sorry. So for quite a long time, for about 3 or 4 months, we had 2 toilets. One of which was just in the middle of the bathroom, not plumbed into anything.
A decoy.
But of course, the first pre-drinks we hosted with just the worst scouser. Just the worst scouser who... I mean, he had a habit of pissing himself, and usually in other people's beds or on trains. He once fell asleep.
hell?
He once fell asleep upside down on the steps to the metro in Newcastle and pissed up his own body.
Who is this menace?
How old's this gent?
Early 20s at the time.
He is going to be a menace when he's 84.
So he walks in. Someone else is using the regular toilet.
Yeah.
Well, I say the regular toilet, the one that's plumbed in, not the one that's in the centre of the room and quite clearly not connected to anything at all. Sees that toilet and goes, "Well, that one's free," and proceeds to piss in that for the rest of the night.
Did none of you have the foresight to tape it shut?
We didn't think we'd have to. It didn't occur to us that someone would walk into that room, see a toilet clearly not plumbed in, and go, "Yeah, I could probably use that."
You had you brought a scouser with incontinence into your home, and didn't think you'd piss in everything.
It was
That
pre-drinks.
was your first error.
Usually, he manages to hold it in for pre-drinks, at least. Usually it's later on in the evening that he starts pissing himself.
Yeah.
Well, I hope you learned a valuable
But
lesson.
also the
that
fact that expecting that he wouldn't piss in everything, especially not a toilet that, for all intents and purposes, apart from functionally, is a toilet.
What did you do with it? Did you just leave it in there?
It was.
How do you deal with this
it was
now?
in-
It's a
It was
toilet.
in there for a while. It was. I didn't want to take responsibility
put
for this
some-
because I was away that weekend. So I was like, I was not a part of this pre-drinks.
Hmm.
This is not on me. You failed to control the mad scouser. This is on you guys. You have to sort this out. And I think eventually, I'm not even sure how they dealt with it. I think they might have like ladled it into a bucket or something and transferred it to the other toilet.
I hope they went to like Wilco or something and bought a £1 ladle for that and burned it afterwards. That's what I hope they had to do.
Yeah,
Because-
get the old
that
wet
is-
dry vac.
Because I'm not sure how else you'd really. I'm
Oh,
not sure how else you'd really do it unless you've got a wet vac. Because I mean, unless you unless you pick the whole toilet up and tip it into the
have you
working
seen those
one.
adverts where they measure? That's how they measure vacuum cleaners by like how much liquid they can suck up in a given amount of time. And there's something so wrong about watching a vacuum cleaner just suck up water, like from like a jug. Something about it just hurts my soul, and
Like
I
it's
don't
having
know
a drink.
why. I know. It's like it's going.
Like the Nunu.
Like Nunu.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh no!
That
Drinking up all that lovely.
Yeah.
that terrifying motherfucker
Yeah.
with his unblinking eyes.
Although speaking of terrifying things on Teletubbies, the lion and the bear Jesus Christ, that shit gave me
I don't remember
nightmares.
them, and I'm glad I don't remember
Oh, the Lion and the Bear are terrifying. They're cardboard cutouts on wheels that just appear out of bushes and make weird noises. And as soon as they have theme music, and any time the theme music comes on, all the Teletubbies lose their shit and hide in the hole that they live in, or whatever it is, their bungalow.
Council-owned bungalow.
It doesn't have an upstairs, to be fair. So
It does have an upstairs. It's basically a bungalow. And then the lion or the bear will come out, make mad eye, like its eyes will just sort of roll around in its head, and then it'll go ah, 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 or something like that. And it'll just do that until it then disappears behind the bush and the Teletubbies come back out.
whilst the baby in the sun cackles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was terrifying.
I want to know who. You know what? I really want to have an insight into the minds of people that make young children's
I reckon
television
that was
programs
David Lynch.
from like the 70s, 80s. Hideo Kojima's Teletubbies. That is a man that I want to make a kids' morning show. Hideo Kojima's technical morning show. Oh god. Anyway,
Okay, should cattle prods be more readily available in B&Q?
No.
yes.
Did Will say yes?
Yes, he did. But he just
Correct answer.
he just locked his mum in the cellar. So
I'll have none of that. I just
We don't have a cellar.
we don't have a cellar for a start. We have under the stairs.
the larder. We're a nice Victorian family to have, you know.
Exactly. And a German sex dungeon, but that's besides the point.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, here's a good one. If your urinal isn't quite full, but someone is clearly waiting for more of a buffer zone, do you also wait?
No.
I'm assuming
thing.
there's no stall available either. There's no
There's no stalls. That's not
so
an option.
set the picture for me because I'm a descriptive learner apparently. What did you
All right.
just say? What am I picturing in my mind's eye?
Okay, I'll go into detail. Let's say there's 5. It's not a trough. It's individual urinals.
Yep, cool.
You've got
When they're clogged and they're not quite draining very fast,
you've got
and someone's clearly waiting for it to be at that point where you could wee in it.
no.
and it wouldn't
No.
overflow.
Not that it's drainage. No. There's 5 urinals. Only one of them is free. However, everyone's shoulder to shoulder here.
Mhm.
There's one free. Someone's waiting,
Mhm.
and they're clearly waiting just for a little bit more of a buffer zone.
Oh no, I just
You
go.
just go?
What do you mean? It's the men's.
But they're very obviously waiting.
That's great for them.
I
Like, go over wee. Everyone's got a dick.
I agree with Mr. Everyone's Got a Dick. I also have one. I'm part of the roughly 49 point something percent of the population that actually does have a dick. Will.
Everyone's got a dick. Everyone's got
Stop
dick
saying
energy
it.
at the
Stop
very
saying
least.
that word. You're just saying it over and
fine.
over again.
Perfectly fine.
You can't just say you need to explain yourself.
Like,
You've just got no remorse for this shy bladder.
there's honestly, look, there's a zone that you can look in that is acceptable,
That's true.
and everyone
Actually,
knows it.
Can
Like you look down for half a second to make sure that you're
clock
pointing
the
in the
next
right
guy,
direction.
see if it's healthy.
When no one admits it, but everyone does.
What?
and then you're straight looking forward for the rest of the time.
Rewind. What are you checking is healthy?
Just being a bro.
Just the stream, making sure everything looks alright.
Just the stream?
Yeah.
Okay.
And his balls.
And his
Just a quick visual inspection for lumps.
and his belly
Yeah.
and his belly button.
Test
Yeah.
Exactly. Testicular cancer is something that is not discussed enough in the men's room.
They should start putting that, on the advertising posters they put straight ahead.
Yeah.
They should do that. Just be a mate.
Be a mate.
Have a quick check.
Yeah.
Just
Be a mate. Check your friends.
It's,
Check
it's
your bros'
basically
balls.
it's basically the mirrors, isn't it? Right, left, clock it, fine, cool. Back down. Keep your eye on the ball. Actually, this kind of goes to one thing. Because I used to be in bars and stuff. There's a lot of times at closing time when I was almost entirely sure I would be in a fairly large toilet with multiple urinals on my own. And what I used to do, for some reason, was start on the left one and just pee, then stop, then pee into the next one, then stop, then pee into the next one, then stop, and just take them all out. And what was really, I mean, this is quite wasteful actually thinking about it, but they had those sensors there to check if someone was peeing. So you'd pee, stop, flush, pee, stop, flush. And I tell you what, it was like I had found the meaning. behind everything. Everything fell into place.
That's actually, it's a really good exercise, is starting and stopping.
Why? Why is that a good exercise?
It's exercising, I think it's your Kegel muscles.
Harvey Kegel
is what stops and starts your pee. So if you've got a full empty urinal to play with, stop and start it, try and mark them all.
I did many times.
You did?
Yeah.
I've not done that, but I have sidestepped across a trough.
Yeah.
So what you've done is you've cried.
I didn't
Just
start and stop. I had a trough to myself, and I just sidestepped across the room.
Imagine if you just didn't stop. You just went across all these separate urinals, just like if it hits.
Fair, I've never moved myself. I'll find myself stationary, and I'll see how long down the trough I can go.
Oh yeah.
Have you,
I'll go for the distance.
have you ever stepped back,
all the way
stepped
along.
back and done how far can it go?
Oh yeah.
Before you
Oh
panic.
yeah. But that one, I just do that. That one's just at home though. Like
Normally, yeah. Or just
Have you
on
ever
a
done-
field.
That's the
no,
thing.
the worst one's when you've got an erection and you've got to do it.
Then you need a
gotta,
field.
You need it either. Has anyone
be
ever
so
just
freeing.
fully committed to it? Has anyone ever fully committed to it and just laid horizontally across the toilet? The only way to get through it without any issues at all, the full plank across the top.
It's just the core strength you'd need to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, this is why I want my masseuse's table just above the toilet seat.
So you need 2 holes cut into that table, right?
Well, exactly. That's what I said with multiple
Oh,
holes.
okay.
Exactly. So I can sleep face down and have an erection.
When you get the 5 a.m. horn. And you can...
Exactly.
You won't even know it's happened.
When you wake up at 7 a.m. and you go, oh god, and you go, zero pressure.
Have you ever, when peeing outside, you're having a nature wee,
Hmm.
realise you're aiming? You think,
Why?
I need to do this, and you spin round.
It's...
Have you
No! No!
I was like, you freehand it. No, you fucking whip around.
Spin! No, I don't ever go for the sprinkler, thank you. You know what? I can't look at you the same way anymore.
It's a full nature wee. There's no one around for ages. You're free as the wind.
I think the wind might be the issue.
That's the only one that I've ever had. The nature wind that's notable is when you're weeing and then you realise you're weeing into the wind and you think to yourself, I've started on the bad foot here. And I need to
I like it if
rethink
it's a
your
still
choice.
day and you can.
Or when you pee up a hill. Peeing up a hill.
Oh,
terrible,
that's
terrible
silly.
Never
choice.
pee up.
But I've
never
done
pee
it
up a hill.
so many
Never pee up a
times.
hill. Always pee down.
And then you see it coming down towards you. You go, oh,
Shit. That was yeah.
You're like, I either have to stop now or I have to try and go
But
fast.
you never turn round. You never turn
No.
round. You never stop and
'Cause
turn
you-
around. You just
No.
you just move your legs apart
What do
awkwardly.
you mean?
You-
Unless you're Eric and you just decide that the spin option is the correct thing to do. You're like, no, I must just cover my area. Spin.
Who's got the most right answers at the moment? I'm assuming it's me because he said we should stock B&Q with cattle prods.
That was the correct
yes.
answer.
Was it?
Yeah, I think they should. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd just like it to be more available.
Okay.
I think Finn got the edge in the first one. Will obviously got the second one. You both got a point for the third one because my answer for that was slide on in. They can't be that desperate.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're even pegging at the minute.
Okay.
So next one is just nose picking.
Depends whose
And
furniture it's going on. If it's yours, if you lay claim to the room and it's your job to clean it, then you know what? Pick away, son.
All right.
Pick away.
I think as long as you've got a disposal mechanism that doesn't stain
That's straight in the
anything.
mouth.
Oh
I kid. I've never done that.
no.
If you've got a handkerchief or a tissue, fine.
I've tried it because I've seen other people doing it and think maybe it's good.
No.
It's not.
No,
good.
no.
It's not good.
No.
It's not nice.
No, I can't imagine it is.
It's grim. Wouldn't recommend it. But that's you both get a point for that. You didn't get the secret bonus point though. So what you do in private with your nose is your own business. But note well, your car is not always private.
Fair.
I can
Why's
see
your car not always
I can
private?
see you. I can see you there sat in traffic digging around.
Plus, I mean, one of again back to the urinal talk. This podcast is in the gutter,
Oh yeah.
Top of the slag pile for a reason.
Yeah.
Not piss in the gutter. I did call it a bucket of piss last week, actually. Anyway, last week. Like we're a weekly show. Ridiculous. But if you're at the toilet, have you ever noticed the fact that on the wall opposite most urinals there's a nice stain where you can see that everyone's like rubbed their bogies?
Oh,
Yeah.
I've not noticed that.
I've never noticed that, and I'm quite glad.
Yeah,
I've
it's
never noticed
like
Yeah.
you can. There's definitely like certain points where like if someone's been in there alone and they've just they've done the horrible gobby thing, or they've clearly just done the old pick and flick,
Oh.
and it's yeah.
I mean, wouldn't you flick it into the urinal? Let it go down.
Yeah, if you cared about humanity.
Only if you had any sort of respect for yourself and others. Oh, beautiful. Eric,
Yeah,
have
what
you
you
got
saying?
a final one? Or a
Oh,
couple?
I've
Have you
got
got a couple
4 more.
Okay, bring it
You
on.
got
Got
4
4 more. There's 8 in
Oh, my.
total.
Oh my.
This is another one where it's only a question because there's a question mark at the end. Kicking a dead badger?
Wouldn't recommend it, but
beyond
I
the
mean,
why.
Why wouldn't you recommend it? What's going to happen? What happened to you, Will?
I mean, honestly, you just stain your shoes. if I'm
Okay,
honest.
but
How long has it been dead for? You know, am I gonna get bits of old decomposing badger on my shoe?
okay, remember this is an ethics quiz.
Am I kicking it out of the way for some reason?
I'd feel better, putting on some gloves and moving it than I would just kicking it.
I've got no more information for you. This is just kicking a dead badger. I wouldn't say kicking it is ever the best way to move it.
Wait, do you mean shuffling it with a foot?
Punting
or do you
it.
mean
I just-
like
Kicking it, yeah, punting
punting?
it,
Like a poodle off a balcony.
Then
yeah.
Yeah.
unnecessary comparison, but I'll
It
take
was
it.
a wonderful simile, and I loved it.
I don't think there's ever a situation where you should, if I'm honest. I'm not going to judge a person.
Yeah.
No, I would judge a person. I would judge a person.
If I
who
saw
kicks
someone
a dead
just fucking
badger.
go into town on a dead badger for no reason at all, I would think, why? And you also remarked before you asked the question, you gave us a bit like a caveat that it was only a question because you put a question mark in front of it. So originally it was just a statement, kicking a dead badger.
Yes,
Have you kicked a dead badger?
I've not, but I do know someone who has.
Are they ethically
It-
questionable?
Yes,
It wasn't your girlfriend, was it?
That's
You
how
know
they met.
We just met round the dead badger pile.
Sorry. She was kicking dead
No.
badgers. He was clubbing.
That was
seals
their
with the head
last
of a hammer.
podcast, the
And-
dead badger pile.
Before we met, she'd genuinely never seen a dead badger, and I found that incredible. I've seen so many dead badgers.
They're ten a penny. They're 10 a penny, man.
They're
Yeah.
everywhere. Dead badgers are everywhere.
There's one behind you.
How can you drive to Edinburgh and have not seen a dead badger? All the roads that lead to Edinburgh are covered in dead badgers.
It's mostly pheasants and deer.
No, it's badgers.
Pheasants, deer, and the occasional.
What do you
skunk.
think pheasants and deer look like? Are they small, black, kind of like rodenty, but not small enough to be rodenty? Bit of like a white stripe going on, snuffly.
Generally, if it's big and it looks a bit like Bambi, and we drove past one on Saturday.
Well,
actually,
it checks out, man. He knows what a deer is.
Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough.
that's a deer. And if it's got feathers, I just default to pheasant because they seem to get run over every.
Is a badger a kind of weasel?
Yeah.
Is it?
I
Is it?
have no idea.
What is it? What is a badger? It doesn't really fit into a group that I can think of.
If
it's
only
not a rodent.
there was some sort of mystical thing that connects
Is it
us.
is it a muskid? A musvid? A mus something? I'm googling it because I think I might be right.
A marsupial,
A
is that what you're
A
thinking?
muskvid.
I think that's from Skyrim.
Shush.
I think that's those like shelled things in Skyrim.
That's a chorus.
I stand corrected.
Don't come at me with Skyrim lore. It's just everyone's just coming up with music videos. Muskid?
Surely you just Google
Just
badger
what is a
and
badger?
then go on the Wikipedia.
I want to know if this is even just a thing.
I think you're just making sounds.
Well, now we're down the
Yeah.
badger hole, aren't we?
I think they have warrens, do they? No, they have
I
sets.
think it's a.
Is it
is
a,
it a den?
badger den? Is the set the family, or is the badger set where they live? Mustelid.
Oh, hello.
Yeah, badgers are short-legged omnivores from the family Mustelidae.
I must have lid.
A mustelid.
There we go. You learn something new every podcast.
Yeah. Will a badger bite you?
Maybe.
The National Federation of Badger Groups. That's a lot to unpack. First of all, said it
Yes.
had no records of wild badgers biting people, so I'm assuming only the domesticated badgers, only they bite. They're trained for their ferocity. Right. How did we do on the dead
Excellent.
badger one, Eric? Because I'm thoroughly confused.
Okay, I will say, the person I know that kicked the dead badger, you know the silly dog sketch?
Yes.
Same guy.
Okay.
There you go. Misspent youth.
Apparently so.
That's not vague at all for anyone that doesn't know what that is.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what this is. Who is this person? Why did they kick a badger? Was the answer correct or
I
not?
still don't know if the answer was correct or not. I'm assuming by saying no, we both got the right answer.
Well, the answer that I've put, which I don't stand by, is if you kick a dead badger in the woods and no one is around to judge, did the badger really get kicked?
Yes, because you were there, kicking a dead.
But yeah,
bear.
you were there. You can judge yourself.
Yeah.
I mean,
'Cause-
since the answer was also a question, I reserve the right to answer the question that is the answer and say it did get kicked, and you're a dick.
In that case, I think me and Will both get a point for that, and we're
I
still on
think you
equal
both get a
footing.
point.
Yeah.
Still equal footing. Right.
Cool. We're both as ethical as each other.
Now then,
Points. I don't know if
Yeah.
that's a good thing.
giving
Points all
giving poor directions to tourists.
Wait. Intentionally poor or unintentionally?
I mean,
poor?
there's nothing unethical about doing something unintentional.
There isn't.
I would say.
There isn't.
I think if your
That's-
meanings was well, but you got it wrong, that's no. You didn't. I mean, yeah, you got it wrong, but ethically you're fine.
What if you realised you got it wrong seconds after you gave them the information, and you could have still turned around and said, "Hang on, I was wrong."
But then you chuckle to yourself and walk on with your day.
It's how you deal with that situation as well. Then
Okay,
Yes,
because
if-
I literally the other day someone said to me when I was walking down to the train, which way is it to Deansgate, and I actually thought it was one way. I then was getting a train out of Manchester, went past Deansgate, and thought, this is not the way. But to be fair, I did think that 3 seconds after saying the Deansgate's that way.
so you had time.
I turned
You
around,
could
I
have.
looked at him, and I went, eh.
There you go. So, however you answer this, we
Yeah.
know your true feelings.
Okay, then that's Finn's answer.
Yeah.
So Will,
Eh.
I'd say I'd feel.
He's going to use this to get the upper hand,
It
you
dep-
dick.
No. To be fair, I would laugh if I gave them the wrong directions, turned around, and then went
Eh.
and then walked away and go, "Oh well, say like me." Carry on. But I would legitimately try and give the correct.
I
directions.
tried.
would either of you ever purposefully give poor directions?
No.
Okay, you both got that wrong. It's totally fine and encouraged in the case of Americans.
Okay, so I was silent.
Right.
I have, but only when it was on campus and students came in asking where a certain lecture theatre was. And it was so obvious because it was just behind where we were working. But I'd send them out onto the ring road, round the back of the building, and then round into the front because I thought it was funny.
I mean, I think that's worth at least
That's
half
a point.
Or at
That's
least
a point for Finn.
That's a
Yeah.
point.
Okay.
You
Oh
terrible human
yeah,
being.
we know
How
that.
would you both know?
I just sound polite.
Finn, do you drive?
I not on roads. In fields, absolutely, but not on roads.
Okay, this doesn't. I guess you've not as often been in this situation, but it still applies, I suppose. Not reporting small spillages at petrol stations.
Oh.
I've never
I've-
seen
You're
one.
supposed to report small spillages. Any spillage, you're supposed to report.
This is such an Eric thing. This is such an Eric thing to do.
Never considered it. I didn't even know until this moment that I now have to report them. And
Any
now,
small spillage, you have to report.
To be fair, if someone just showed me a picture of you, like an oil painting of you sat there like this, the first thing I'd think is that man wants everybody to clean up small spillages. Or at least report them.
I struggle to believe this, Eric, after you point people in the wrong direction intentionally. To then also expect everyone to also report all spillages at petrol
I'm just
stations.
saying that is the rule, and that's on the signs, like all the pumps. You're supposed to report all small spillages. Well, all spillages.
Not
No matter
large
how small.
ones, because we assume everyone knows
Not
already.
large ones, they'll notice. If it's small enough that someone won't notice, then you're supposed to report it.
Okay.
No, I've never done that. I didn't even think about it.
Again, I mean,
Probably wouldn't.
I'm less in the scenario where I could, because I'm not in petrol stations much. I've also never seen anyone do it, nor have I done it.
Okay, you can both have a point for that one. It's I've paid for that petrol. It's up to me if I want to leave a bit of it on the forecourt.
Okay. Well, now I look like an arsehole because I just tried to character assassinate you as a man who likes everyone to report small spillages.
No, it was accurate. I don't
Okay,
care what it's
thank
actually
you.
really
I'm glad
is.
there's a consensus.
I've never reported a spillage at a petrol station,
Only a small one, though.
but then I've never spilled at a petrol station.
I bet you've cast aspersions on those that have,
No.
and then you're like, they're not going to report it, and they walk out with a Snickers bar, and nobody comes to clean it up, and you're like, you bastard.
All it takes is a little wiggle when you're done. Just like when you're doing a wee, you just give it a wiggle at the end.
Everyone knows that doesn't work most of the time. Everyone knows.
Give it a wiggle, and then you immediately tilt it up.
So that it can.
Are you talking about? Are you talking about the penis?
is yours
A petrol pump, not a
I
penis.
think is yours up against the trousers all day. That's not. That's
you
not
give it a wiggle,
good.
and you flick it up,
Flick it up.
and then you leave it there.
Yeah. Filled with the last remaining drops until the next time.
Yes.
I'm not comfortable with this conversation anymore. Next step.
So much piss talk.
Okay, this one
The
does.
amount of penis in this episode is
All right, the
unacceptable.
next question doesn't involve spillage or piss or anything. Is it okay to cheat on tests at school?
Yes, I've done it.
Whoa, what level?
Anything at school?
Test. What do you define as school?
Life,
When you-
man.
You know when you see going to school, that's what school is.
So pre-university,
Pre-sixth form.
pre-sixth form, before A levels.
I'm gonna open this up to including A levels
Okay.
or Scottish Highers.
Okay.
Whatever.
I feel like at that point things kind of matter a
Yeah,
little
because
bit.
there's.
So that's where we draw the line, is it?
Yeah, that's where I draw it because I cheated at my GCSE, so that's where I draw the line. It was only one GCSE.
Oh, I see.
It was only one GCSE. It was Welsh. I can't speak Welsh still. I was out of my depth, man. I was out of my depth. There was an oral exam, and I wrote down everything I was going to say, and the teacher didn't catch me. I was just there with my bit of paper, occasionally looking down, pretending to be thinking. I wasn't thinking. I didn't think. I just looked and I acted. I'm a man of action. And that's how. And I pulled a B out of my bottom.
I mean, Google Translate got me a C in French. That's all I'm saying. So like, C.
That's Spanish.
Exactly. That's the joke. That's not funny when you have to explain it.
Oh, sorry, that wasn't a comment at all on anything. Sorry, Will.
Google Translate got me a C in French. C. You jetted that.
Oh. I'm a harlot, I'll have you know.
Exactly.
But no, Dingbat's got me a C in French. I wouldn't say it was cheating. I'd say it was an exploit.
Okay.
What do you mean?
You weren't going out of bounds or anything.
I followed the.
It was a
I
loophole.
followed the rules. I found a loophole
Okay, yeah.
for the speaking and writing exams for French. You could have cue cards with up to 40 words, but you were supposed to be like writing like several paragraphs worth of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But you could have as many pictures as you wanted.
So you have pictures of words.
So I had pictures. I had pictures where if you said what the picture was in English, it would make make the sound of the word in French. So I basically had a combination of pictures within algebra, because I'd have to subtract and add letters and things to English words to make them make the French sounds.
If you just learnt French, it would have taken less time.
It wouldn't. I was terrible at French.
All right, Mr. Welsh.
I'll have you know, I got Fs on the listening and reading because I don't know French. But I got an A on the speaking and writing, and I averaged out at a C.
That's a finish.
Because speaking and writing, I did it perfectly because I'd done my English dingbats. That was just pictures and algebra, and that worked.
You min-maxed French.
Yeah. That's how I got a C in French.
I just like
With
the fact
2 Fs and 2 As.
I just like the fact that, like one of the languages that you taught, early on, that sort of thing. You didn't bother like just learning the thing for it. You made up your own French to English hieroglyphs.
Well, I didn't want to learn French. So was that you're both fine with cheating?
Yeah.
Up
Yes,
until
up until
A-levels,
A-levels,
yes.
yeah.
Academic
Okay.
cheating up until A-levels is fine.
I guess that means that Finn has
At that point.
just pegged it by 1.
Cool.
For how did you end up in the lead with that? Oh, for giving false directions.
Yes.
For
yeah.
being fine with giving false directions.
To be honest, that was after the fact, though, because you said what the right answer was, and I says, "Well, I have done that," but you didn't have the evidence when you awarded. Well, yeah, it was after that. So you could say that we're on equal footing given the rules of the game, and
I don't care.
I don't think that you'd have come up with that lie so quickly. I think you definitely did tell a lot of people the wrong way to go.
I did.
So I think
okay.
I think that's shown your colours there.
Personally, I'm disappointed at the very first one. But that's it. Because I think that is the only time to not flush the toilet.
Well, you were both.
It's when you've prearranged this with the person.
I did enjoy your answer, Will, but Finn is closest to what I had written down.
Yeah, I'm disappointed in you, sir. I want you to know that as you go to the toilet right now, and I want you to not flush.
I might not flush because I am incredibly hydrated.
Probably quite hydrated now, yeah.
Yeah. This is I've drank plenty of water today, and it's about 2 beers in, full of liquid. So I'll be back. I'll be back shortly. Don't talk about my bottom.
That's
yeah. I was expecting the trousers to be down for a second. Then what was your segment, Eric?
What was your segment, Eric?
Little fucking nuggets.
They really are my jam.
My proverbial goose is cooked.
What?
Okay, speaking of proverbial gooses being cooked, Will, how familiar are you with the works of Emily Bronte?
Emily Bronte?
Or Bronte, if you prefer.
Oh, Bronte.
Bronte was the name of my Brontosaurus teddy bear, and he's in the cupboard, and he's the only one that I still have. He's called Bronte. Oh. So not at all familiar with
Excellent.
the works of Emily Bronte.
Well, if you'll go to the text channel, I think we'll all find it's time for a Geordie Reads.
Can you do this before I've had all this gin?
That's so much less fun. That's easy mode, and we've stepped it up as well because last time you aced the Shakespeare thing. There were tears in my eyes when you finished that one.
That's what most people say when I finish.
Oh. Oh, that's not nice.
What is this? Fuck me! I can barely read, and this is not even English.
I struggle with this shit, man.
Yeah.
It's basically...
We've gone next level.
Fuck's sake. I need to...
Yeah, channels Geordie.
I can't. I'm just going to fart. Oh no, I'm not going to fart. That one's going to be following through.
Oh no. I'm just going to shit.
That one's a risky one. Let's hold him in. The pressure will help. Yon lad gets war and war. Observed he on re-entering. He's left thy gate at full swing, and Miss Pony has trodden down 2 rings of corn, and potted through. It's gone Yorkshire. This feels like it should already be Yorkshire?
Actually, yeah, you're bang
is,
on.
yeah.
It's just trying to write the colloquial Yorkshire, or kind of like phonetic, I guess, Yorkshire.
So you want me to speak in a Yorkshire accent whilst doing a Geordie accent?
No,
yes.
I want you to read those words in a Geordie accent. Let's not overcomplicate things.
Right, well, if I can have several pauses in between, otherwise I will just become Yorkshire.
Yes, that's fine, that's fine.
Yon lad gets war and war. Observed on re-entering, he's left that gate and to full swing on Miss Pony had trodden down 2 rings of corn and plotted through right over into meadow and some driver to master and play to devils to mourn and he'll do wheel. What the fuck is this garbage? Emily Bronte. Ugh. You were born either too early or too late, wherever you are. He's patience itself, which careless. Alfred Craters, patience itself he is, but he's not be soon, alas, yas see on ye. Ya munten dive him out, and his eed now 12. Eid for now. I fucking hate this. I can't read. I've got too many gins in me, and you're going to have to deal with the fact that that was more Yorkshire than it was Geordie because I stopped caring.
That's
I'm
fine.
very sorry.
That was a commendable effort.
I want-
it's
I
impossible
want you-
to read phonetic Yorkshire in another accent, I think.
It is not. I want everyone to know that there is about 7 words in this which are actually spelled correctly, and this is a nightmare for me, who has never been diagnosed as dyslexic, but probably is, because all I look at is the first and the last letter, and then try and make it up in between. And quite frankly, that has made my life challenging up until this point. But I've done very well on a 5-year-old's reading age.
I think so. Like I said, the Shakespeare one. I mean, I genuinely couldn't fault it.
Yeah, it went too well. We had to make it more difficult this time, but we might have overreached.
We over-egged that particular pudding, didn't we?
You really did.
We overcooked that goose.
I think that there needs to be your proverbial goose was overcooked.
It was so overcooked.
If this ever's published anywhere, the description needs to have this in it, and I want people to attempt to follow it as it's said, and it's awful. It's awful. It's awful from me. It's awful to read. It hurts my eyes to look at, and quite frankly, I'm disappointed in myself and everyone. But this was definitely the slag pile, so I expect nothing less.
I mean, it's definitely put me off reading it, because it's always been the sort of thing in the background as it's one of the classics, maybe at some point I'll read it.
I wouldn't.
I won't now.
Yeah.
Wait, it's actually in phonetic Yorkshire. This is how it's written.
No.
Yeah,
Well,
that's how it's... No, not the whole book.
just that character called Joseph is written like that because he's meant.
Yeah.
So
they write people's... So she's written people's dialogue phonetically.
No one else is written like that, by the way. It's just this old manservant. It's just a character.
Is that supposed to be something like young lads go to war and war? Observed he on re-entering. What?
I can look.
Don't worry about it.
What do you mean observed he on re-entering? What is he, some sort of shuttle coming back from the International Space Station?
I think maybe he just left her and then came back in.
What do you mean re-entering?
What I just said.
I'm just like,
of all the things you can pick on, not this bit, man. Not this bit.
I can't. I don't know. I dislike it.
That's fair enough. I dislike that as well. And he's only 4.5 foot tall when he's got his hat on.
I drank the water, I had the poo.
Comfort intense. I have a parking fine in Inverness, Scotland, and I've never been to Inverness, Scotland. I have £100 parking fine for Aberdeen's Inverness, Scotland, and I'm being assaulted via mail by the UK PC, and I'm now having to dispute this, and I'm very unhappy about it.
Oh my
Lord! They have several photographs of a car with my old license plate, where all it is some retro reflectors and a black car on a black background, where it could be anywhere, at any point, and just 2 timestamps in the corner. And I'm thoroughly disappointed with them, and I'm very angry. And I want everyone to know this. And the UK PC, you know who you are. Fuck you. Thank you. This was my soapbox.
I look forward to hearing how this comes out. Obviously, I'm thoroughly on your side with this, and I can't see this ever going badly for you. But
yeah, if you're not there, you're not there.
Well, I have several things from that day. I played badminton in Newcastle on that day at Concordia. I went into town and had a burrito and took a photograph of it and sent it to a friend in Taunton with it, which he'll attest to because he was grumpy. And then I also bought a phone from John Lewis. So I don't know what to say to them really. So, but anyways,
I mean, it's good that you've got such a paper trail. I can't really prove my location for anything.
No, this is a very specific day and a weird time for me because you'll both know that I don't use my phone.
You don't.
I don't interact with the general populace, and
we're
I'm
all pretty
a nightmare.
bad with that. to be fair.
We are. But yeah, they picked the perfect day to claim that you're in Aberdeen.
Oh,
The
yes.
one day where you've got all of the alibis for being in Newcastle.
It was also the day I started paying rent to my mother. So, I mean, there's a
It was
real
also the
paper
day
trail.
that you were on Look North. Live in the morning.
Live in the morning. On Look North. Of all days.
And that doesn't happen that often to you, does it? Well, you're not often on Look North.
I'm not often on Look North, no. Only when they see me stumbling down the beaches of South Shields. But anyway, there you go. Sorry, I don't know why. I hadn't found a good moment for that, and it was eating me inside. And you know what? Maybe this is my therapy.
I think I'm glad it came out like that. I mean, you got angry at Bronte. You got angry at me for bringing Bronte into your life, and then
then the real anger came.
And then you
out.
thought, what? Fuck this. Fuck
You know
Inverness.
I'm going to apologise to everyone for my outburst at Bronte, and I don't think it was that. I think it was the parking fine. And
It was the parking fine. That's the real issue
and
here.
I'd like to apologise to Emily Bronte's family, the literary community at large, and my girlfriend, the literature student.
Oh shit! Yeah, she probably likes that stuff.
Probably.
Well, probably. Actually, no. She's probably the last person to like it because she's been forced to study it, so probably hates it.
Ask her about
Maybe it's-
Joseph from Wuthering Heights and see if she starts talking about parking fines in Aberdeen.
You know I will.
But I imagine as a literature student, she probably hates that stuff. Just because as soon as you're forced to study something, you start to detest it.
If you're ever looking for common ground, though, you can save that one up. And if there's ever a particularly kind of dull day or you've had a bit of a tiff, you just, you know what, though, at least we both hate Emily Bronte. Do you think this is an activity?
I have a parking fine in Inverness, Scotland.
They're known people. Don't go in.
Why the hell are you doing this?
So, I'm going to share my screen.
Oh no! I'm a snoozy boy.
Can you see what's happening?
What's behind the Iron Curtain? Yes, I can see what's happening.
This segment is called What's Behind the Iron Curtain.
Well, I know exactly where that is.
I think I know where that is as well.
Just for the listeners' benefit, What's Behind the Iron Curtain is an entirely visual game for Will and Finn. What they're seeing on the screen now is a picture slightly obscured by a big red curtain with a Breville iron on it.
Yep.
And and they've got to figure out what's behind that.
Yeah. For the purpose of the recording, I can attest that is exactly what I'm seeing.
Yeah, I can see myself partially obscured behind an iron curtain.
So what's behind that iron curtain?
Well, it would be Eric wearing a poncho, and possibly I'd say another member of the Ale Festival crew.
Do you have any razors, Finn? Or
I can certainly see someone that looks very much like you. So I'd say there's definitely an Eric there, but behind that, I mean, I see.
I mean, I would like to say that what's the only part of what might be me is on view is the knees. So just like to state that Finn has recognised me by the knees.
No, we've recognised you by your colourful poncho.
I think it's mainly the poncho that's.
Oh, is it the poncho?
It is, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
It's not my iconic knees.
No, but you were the only person, I think, wearing shorts to an ale festival in August in Cumbria.
It would be in September.
Sorry, not
It's
August. I meant autumn.
it's always mid-September.
I meant autumn. Sorry,
All right, yes.
an autumnal ale.
I didn't even question it. I'm not a shorts guy. I don't know when people wear shorts. I'm out of that network of. I'm not in that circle.
That's fair.
I will reveal. It is me.
Ah!
Yay!
There he is.
There he
It's
is.
Darren.
For the purposes
Am I wearing a party hat, or have you photoshopped one on top of me there?
No, we were all wearing party hats.
Okay.
Because it was Alefest and we were all wearing Halloween party hats.
Of course we were.
for the
Was that my first ever one, or where Ruben became some sort of sacrificial
little
altar?
face on a
No,
stick.
I think this is you're a veteran of the Alecast at this point. I think.
Okay. Well, that
right.
was fun. Oh,
So, what's behind the second Iron Curtain?
it's an old oil painting.
Yeah,
Of
that's
who or
something.
what?
Actually, I
don't
don't know if it is an oil painting. To be honest,
Oh, really?
it's a painting, but I don't know if it's oil.
Okay.
Is it?
It looks Renaissance-y.
It does. It looks like something I would try and
It
find
is Renaissance-y.
a piece of Eden in on Assassin's Creed.
It is very much Renaissance.
Is it the? It's not the Mona Lisa. She's in the sea in the background. Is it the Mona
It
Lisa?
doesn't look like the Mona Lisa to me, but it could very well be.
It's the Mona
It is.
Lisa.
It's
Oh.
the Mona Lisa.
Finn absolutely gets a point for that. What's behind the Iron Curtain here?
Is it a dog poo?
Chicken.
It's not a dog poo. It's not chicken.
A dog.
Is it a badger being kicked?
Is it-
You both allowed one more guess.
duck. It's a duck.
No,
Oh, fuck.
Is it a goose that's cooked?
it's a fly mode.
Okay. Oh, should have known. All the signs were there.
I mean, all the signs were there.
They were, apart from the fly.
You've got the long grass and the fat legs.
That's yep.
What's behind the Iron Curtain here?
Audi TT.
wheelie bins.
Wheelie
That
bins.
was such a better guess than my ridiculous one.
Doggers.
I mean, it is a ridiculous one since what's visible is the driveway, and you've guessed for the thing that the driveway might house.
Is a pond or a tree? A bird feeder. Sorry, you get.
That's enough guesses
too
from
many.
you.
Too many. Too many.
Will, give us some guesses.
Loitering youths. Doggers.
Do give us a few more. Catch up with Finn.
What? He gets one more. Surely.
One more, okay. Yeah, one more.
I've gone for loitering youths and doggers.
No, one. You can get one more.
Yeah.
I don't
one
know.
more
Your
in.
grandmother.
Get one more in that car.
It's a bungalow.
It's a bungalow.
That.
Wow.
Fuck me.
I got blue balled by a bungalow.
Incredible.
Next one.
Oh, it's more art. Are those? Is that boat got testicles or an arse?
It's got man.
boat's
That boat is packing.
I've not noticed that before.
Yeah.
that boat's got a proper keystone.
Yes, yeah. That's
Is that what they were called? Conquistadors? Sailing around in their arse and boats with arses. Sorry.
that was really good.
Oh, speaking of, there's a little bum there.
Yeah, there is. A cheeky bum was a regular occurrence in the Renaissance.
There's bum.
Anyways, I've got no idea, Eric. This is.
This isn't Renaissance art.
It's
Well,
certainly
this is
not.
just-
Is it a pier or a bigger boat? I'm going for those two guesses.
A pier or a bigger boat. Will, have you got anything?
Oh, I'm going to assume big anchor.
Big-
I want you to pull. I want you to pull your cheeks apart.
Just
and say that.
a nice
I-
big anchor.
I just love how much within that answer you just really hoped it was a big answer as well. It's a big anchor. Oh, I'm sorry to disappoint you, Will, but it's the Colossus of Rhodes.
I mean, he looks like a big anchor.
Now, would you say that the curtain did indeed hide some sort of pier, considering that he's standing on something jutting out into a body of water?
I would say that the curtain was already there was already revealed a pier.
Right, but that doesn't change the fact it was also hiding one.
I ain't gonna lie to you, Finn. I feel like you're really trying
I know,
for a game
I know.
that doesn't.
You're clutching
Like-
at curtains here.
Oh.
I'm clutching.
No,
Right.
neither of you are getting a point for that. And also, it did not reveal a bigger boat. That big arse boat was the biggest boat in the painting.
That is a big ass.
Yeah,
So-
that's fair.
Yeah, if there was a much larger boat within the key, then maybe. But
Cool.
that is the biggest boat in there.
To add another level of challenge, because my Discord doesn't like it when people share their screens, my screen is now frozen.
Oh,
Oh.
fantastic!
So you're going to have to describe what you can see, and then I'm going to have to guess what's behind the Iron
Okay.
Curtain based on your description of what we can see.
I mean,
This
it looks like Ruben if he was 40 and an accountant,
I mean, this is perfect because this is one that Finn would immediately get if he could see it.
Shit.
Oh.
But now Willie's going to have to explain.
Right. So far you've given me something relatable.
Imagine if Ruben gained a little bit of weight
Right.
and was wearing a fedora and a tweed coat and was an accountant.
Is
And
this
I'm
from
gonna
the
assume-
is this from the IT crowd?
No,
I have no idea.
it's much older.
It's much older.
Much older
Oh.
than the IT crowd.
Is it the bloke from Shooting Stars? Is this going to be like Bob Mortimer or something?
It's not Bob Mortimer. But Finn, if Finn could see this, he'd get it immediately.
Oh, I'm
There you
trying
go.
to fix this because I want to see it.
What's
I'm
it
gonna.
called? He's called like Vic Reeves. Is that
It's-
Vic Reeves
it's-
on the right?
It's not Vic Reeves on the right.
Okay.
I'm furious.
I don't
I'm
know.
furious.
Eric.
Shall I reveal, or do you want to keep trying, Finn?
I mean, Finn's going to have to keep trying to get the other ones, I imagine.
I am. Yeah. I'm in the worst position right now. This is.
Do you want to stop your stream and restart it, Eric?
I could stop and restart the stream.
Everything is going to be frozen for a while now.
Okay, I've stopped the stream.
Okay. See if that's.
I'm restarting the stream.
I'm still on the first. I'm still on the first. I'm still looking at the Colossus of Rose, guys.
Oh my.
Oh, no.
Okay, well the next one's easy to describe. I mean, Finn is now in the same position as the listener.
That's true.
That's
Yeah,
fair.
this is what it's like to be a slag pile listener. It's just frustrating.
Seems fair. Who is behind
I
that
will
curtain?
pull back the curtain for this one. It's Rick Mail,
I don't know who that is.
Was that Blackadder?
but
Who's
Finn
the person
knows.
Who's the person to his right?
I forget his name, but the other one from bottom.
From bottom.
Yes,
I don't know what bottom
I'm
is.
back. I'm
Hello.
back. I can see you.
you can see.
Perfect.
Yes. Okay. So it's Aid Evanson and Rick Mail. Cool. There we go. Yep.
There you go.
There you go.
That's
So yeah,
not
You'd have got
flattering.
that,
Not,
wouldn't
not
you?
flattering for Ruben, but yes, I would have done. Yeah.
yeah, of course.
Sorry.
I see what he means with.
I'm sorry. I mean, I
it's-
painted a very bleak
the-
picture of
no,
this.
the-
It was the
to be fair.
expression.
It's the expression.
The eyebrow
It's the
arches
expression
and
is
stuff. Yeah.
yeah. The expression is very Ruben.
Yeah.
Here we go.
I'm going to assume that the rest of this is a bicep.
That's an educated guess, man. Like,
Based on how the rest of this is gone, I'm going to assume that the rest of this is a bicep.
Okay, so what? Just for the listeners, what you can see peeking out from the curtain is a human hand.
With a wedding ring on. A left hand with a Caucasian left hand with a gold single band wedding ring.
where was this level of description when I couldn't see it?
'Cause I don't know who the hell that bloke is from bottom. If it was an arse, I would have said it was a bottom.
It was a Caucasian bottom that looked like Ruben.
Exactly.
I think this is connected to a cake. I think it's a big cake. I think it's a forearm coming out of a big cake.
Incredible.
Well, Will is right, and Finn's an idiot because
Rest
that
of the arm!
just the rest of the arm that's behind the hand curtain there.
He'd already guessed
Well
a big arm. A big arm. A big arm is behind. He'd already guessed the bicep. I couldn't do that, man. I couldn't do that.
You could have guessed an elbow. That was it.
I could have. I just wanted.
To
I
be
really
fair,
wanted it to be a cake.
I mean, that's Rowan Atkinson / Mr. Bean.
Finn, any?
He's holding Teddy. I think it's gonna be Bean.
It is Bean.
Yeah.
That's
There you go.
Bean. It's Mr. Bean.
Yeah.
We got this.
I don't know. This is classical art, Eric.
It's more art.
You presume I'm a man of culture.
I don't.
Why the hell are you doing this? Excellent. Right, Finn.
Okay.
Take me out of my misery.
All right.
I snorted stout.
It's.
Oh, you deserve it.
I've got stout on my nose.
Is this not part of the Sistine Chapel?
No.
Then I'm fucked. I was fucked if it was. I'm fucked if it wasn't.
It's not Saturn eating his kid because
No, it's not Saturn.
I don't think is the actual name of the painting. It looks.
It's Saturn chowing down on his kids, isn't it?
Yeah, fucking Saturn. Aphrodite or something, but I don't know. Fucking rip that curtain back, man. I think.
You're not gonna have a look at that calf? See what that calf's doing?
I'm done with your games. So.
Is it the that one?
I think Finn might have this somewhere locked away in his mind.
And also, your camera's not on, Finn. So if you're gonna try and do a visual thing with
Is
us,
it not?
then
Is it on now?
there you go. Yeah, it is.
Ah,
I
so you
can
can
see
see
you
that.
now.
Is it
Well-
that one?
That's like the Adam thing, isn't it?
It's not that. No,
No,
Cool,
that's what I thought it was.
Yeah.
But that's on the Sistine Chapel, isn't it?
Yeah.
that is at the Sistine
is,
Chapel. Yeah.
Is
I probably do have it locked, so I don't know. Oh,
You got this locked away.
Look
at that leg.
Curtain.
Okay, I'm going to do the curtain. Are you out of time, Finn? I think you're out of time.
go on. Go on, do it.
Give him
No,
give
no,
him
no, do it.
10%.
No, do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it slowly. Come on.
I don't even know. I don't know. I know this.
It's the great red dragon and the woman clothed in the sun.
Yeah, it is.
What? What?
I've not
What?
seen that.
What?
So, I'm disappointed in me.
What is this? What's this from? Who did this?
I thought like
What even is that thing?
such a mighty calf.
It is a mighty calf. I thought you might get it from the mighty calf.
I was thinking some sort of like lion thing. My head had gone off into like
Well, yeah, I thought if you didn't get it from, this...
that bit. Yeah, but no,
That
then,
wench.
then maybe the calf would get it.
yeah,
but,
no joy there. No joy that one.
All right, moving on to the last one.
Oh, it's a maypole.
Will's got it off the bat. It's a maypole.
There we go.
There we go.
Sorry. This is a really weird game. I don't understand. Well, excellent.
There
Thank
you
you
go.
all for listening. I don't know why you're here.
So-
Go away now.
So Will got one for that. Who got
Finn
Mona
got
Lisa?
one. Finn.
I got Mona Lisa.
Actually,
yeah.
no. Did you get Mona Lisa?
Yeah.
He did.
So that's 1-1. Neither of you got Flymo. Neither of you got Bungalow. Neither of you got Colossus of Rhodes. Neither of you got Rick
Finn,
Mayall.
I'd give Finn that one.
I guess he
was.
he would have got that one.
Yeah, so Finn's on 2, I'm on 1. I got the arm.
You're on
You
2.
got the arm,
You're
so
on
you're
2.
both on 2. You both got Mr.
Both
B.
on 3. Didn't get that one.
Neither of you got that one. And Will got...
And Will-
so May takes it.
Wow.
Yeah, Will takes it with the maypole.
May takes it with a will
Maypole
pole. Yeah.
Yeah, May takes it with the will pole.
Yeah.
Terrible.
And Hammond. Frank Herbert once said, "There is no real ending. It's just the place where you I fucked it up."
Yon lad gets war and war. Observed on re-entering, he's left that gate and to full swing on Miss Pony had trodden down to rings of corn and plotted through right over into meadow and some driver to master and play to devils to mourn and he'll do wheel. He's patience itself which careless. Alfred Craters, patience itself he is, but he's not be soon, alas, yas see on ye. Ya muntin dive him out, and is Eid now 12. Eid for now? I fucking hate that.